You're raving, you're raving, you're raving with RWR. Fabulous songwriters from Belgium and beyond, the lowlands, the highlands, and far across the pond. On Instagram and Facebook too, you can follow, like, and share. Please hit subscribe and join the tribe from the comfort of your chair. You're raving, you're raving, you're raving with yes, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Raving with RWR, episode number 92 here on my YouTube channel, Songs from the RWR Room, dedicated to singer-songwriters from Belgium and beyond. And it's lovely to have you here back with us again. If you're watching on Facebook, feel free to share out the stream with your friends, let them know you're watching. And if it is your first time to the YouTube channel, or you haven't already done so, would you consider hitting that subscribe button there? Please, it helps the channel a great deal, and give the video a thumbs up. Let us know that you like what we're doing here. That would be fantastic. Tonight's stream is brought to us courtesy of the great people of G-Sharp Guitars, the world's finest travel electric guitars. Links to everything and everyone and our dear guest can be found in the links below tonight. And as I said, I hope you're all doing fine and well. It is Sunday, the 7th of November, and we have some live viewers already coming in, I believe, which is lovely to see. If you are watching live and you can join us in the chat room, feel free to do so. And if the comments are nice or interesting, I'll put them up on screen perhaps, or you can talk to Claudia or myself directly there. So without further ado, all going to plan, we're going straight over to Berlin, where our dear guest Claudia is waiting. Claudia Nentwich, are you there? Hello.
Hello, hello. Good evening from Berlin.
Yes, guten Abend and good evening from Berlin. Yeah, we almost met in real life once or twice, and it never happened. So it's lovely to lovely have a chance to meet you almost in person, Claudia. It's nice to see you. Thanks for being here on the show. It's lovely to have you. I'm going to put up your website there for people who would like to check out what you're doing, and of course your Facebook page there, folks. If you're watching on Facebook, give Claudia's Facebook a page a follow. Songs from the boat. Wow, I have to say congratulations first of all. It's what, 14 years of promoting songwriters. Not only are you a great songwriter yourself, but you spent 14 long, hard years promoting a wonderful venue in Berlin, Songs from the Boat. Tell us, how did that all happen back in, what, 2007, was it?
In 2007. It's a very long story. I don't know how much time you have.
Well, sure. Give us a short version of it.
Okay, I mean,
I'll cut you off. I go, stop.
I think it all started with a book I bought from John Brahini, the Art and Craft of Songwriting, or Craft and Business of Songwriting, that I bought in 2000. And I was a content moderator by then for an internet portal responsible for classic rock. Oh. And they fired me at some point, and I didn't mind that so much, but it brought me to the idea to create my own portal with selected songwriting links, because back in 2000 there wasn't much about songwriting available in Germany, no books. Yeah. And so I thought there is a gap, and I jumped right into this gap. And then I Googled, of course, every day to see what's going on, if there's something new. And then I found this songwriter circle by an American called Tom Cunningham. Yeah. And it was such an amazing experience for me to be there, and to see these singer-songwriters only with one instrument, guitar mostly, or piano on stage, and all by themselves, because I was a singer in a rock band by then, for me, I was in the realm of rock music, and I was really impressed by what those people did on stage. And then I decided to write a book about this music scene, and I started to make interviews with singer-songwriters that I met at these shows. I went to look for these shows in Berlin, singer-songwriter shows, and then I published this book, Song Catchers, Liederfänger, and at the same time, everything is connected. A friend
Yeah,
said, I have this old historic freighter, and there is a mess hall, and don't you want to make concerts in this mess hall? And first I thought, oh, well, I don't know. I never did this, but I knew all these fantastic singer-songwriters,
yeah,
and at some point I thought, oh well, okay, let's just organize one evening and see how it is going, And my husband
yeah.
said, okay, and well, and we had a full room, and
On the
it was
first gig.
on
Wow.
the first gig, it deteriorated
Yeah,
afterwards, but
yeah,
the first gig was really magic, on this
yeah.
ship on the water, and
Wow. It sounds.
music, and the whole spirit was nice. There were many songwriters in the audience, and they all said, yeah, you have to keep on doing this,
Yeah,
and then
they
we
loved it, of
thought,
course.
okay, let's do it.
It became a very well known place. Anybody, the song as a touring songwriter myself, every time you ask, where's good to play in Germany, songs from the boat always came up on the list. Everyone says you have to talk to Claudia and play this venue. So it was really well known, especially from, as you said, from the early days, and you managed to keep it going for a long time. So kudos for that. That's it's not easy. Was it once a week? Was it more than? Was it?
No, actually, we didn't do it so often,
Yeah.
and we only did it 8 times a year.
Hmm.
So it stayed something special, and the organization work was kept low maintenance because it's a lot of work. I at some points I said to people, I feel like I could do the same thing with the Carnegie Hall. it's
Yeah.
always it's always the same work. You have to do the promotion, you have to talk with
Um,
the songwriters, you have to have a program, you have to welcome them, take care of them, they're traveling, and needs, and
yeah.
of course we wanted to be good hosts, and because they are all colleagues, we're singer songwriters ourselves, and we know it's a hard business for people like us, so we also wanted to create a friendly,
Hmm.
welcoming, warm space for the colleagues.
And I think you achieved that, because that's what people always said about it. That's why I think a lot of musicians. Well, I know why a lot of musicians kept going back there, was for that exact reason. But and then of course it stopped. Was that because of Corona? It kind of stopped. Or you were saying, or the boat, you couldn't use the boat anymore. Is that what happened?
Yeah, the boat literally fell apart,
Oh wow.
and then my friends stopped doing this, and the whole situation, it was a mess, and then we thought that was it, to be honest. And then a friend, Franco Di Polo, sent me a message, and he said, there is this guy, and you already played at this venue when he hosted a songwriter circle, and he said,
Yeah.
he's taking over from his father, and he has a lovely venue and a very nice stage and good sound system. Go and ask him to see, maybe you can do your series there, and then
Yes.
yeah, we went there, and success.
And it worked.
It
Yeah.
worked, and we do it ever since then. We are at the Terzo Mondo, which is another fine venue also, because it was a legendary place in Berlin, because there was a Sunday evening series, or maybe afternoon, I don't know, never watched it. And the guy who created this space, it's a Greek restaurant, and the
Yeah.
Greek owner played a Greek owner in a series.
Ah. Okay.
And he was a musician himself, you know, and
Yeah.
also active politically. So he became um, an influencer, I would say, you know, in the modern word, in those early days, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we were lucky with this venue,
You sure were.
and then Mark is his name, Mark Alexei. He also he did something for us during the pandemic, also for all the other musicians who are in touch with him. He applied for seed money from the government,
Uh-huh.
so we could continue with a live stream series. You know, it was not a lot of money, but it was enough to, you know, get going. And
Yeah.
so we were lucky to be able to work throughout the pandemic, and this was a gift.
That was a really good thing. When we come back after the first song, which we're going to play now, I want to ask you about a little bit more about your first book. You know, you have so many strings to your bow. You know, songwriter, author, event organizer. It's great what you're doing. But will you tell me about Butterfly Drawings, the first song we're going to play tonight, Claudia?
This song was written on a retreat in Ireland on Inisheer, and
Ah, yeah,
right, and my co-writer Annie Burns, she, you know, you always do this chatting before you start a process, and maybe it's sometimes part of the process. You never know, you know.
yeah.
And in this case, it was she asked me about Prague because she wanted to visit Prague, and I said, you know, a bit ambivalent about Czech Republic because my family from my mother's side, they were banished from Czech Republic after the Second World War.
Wow. Okay.
Uh, Yeah, my father is from Poland. Was this family was also banished, and I started telling her uh, a story basically, and I started with the words, "There's so much grief inside of me." And she started taking notes, and when I was finished, she opened her notebook and said, "Here is the song."
Here it is.
And
Pretty
here
much
it
done. And did you
and
change it
here
after? Was it just done, or was it? Did you change much later, or was it just you felt it was complete at that stage?
that and this is a story for another song, but we wrote this song and you will play this later. And then I met her again in 2016, I think, and she came to understand the Second World War.
Wow.
And because her uncle Sonny had died in the Second World War, he was 21 years old, you know, and his parachute didn't open, and he died on a French field. And
Wow.
she was all her life affected by this story, you know.
Yeah.
And then she went to a concentration camp and read a lot. And then when I wrote with her this song you want to play now, Butterfly Drawings, she had a breakdown. She had a global amnesia. We were sitting on the ship, you know, actually, and you know, face to face, and suddenly she started saying, "Where am I?"
Oh
And
wow.
I thought,
Scary.
"What is this? A fun? She's making fun of
She's
me."
joking
And
now.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
but she was really, she had a global amnesia. She couldn't remember where she was, so I took her to hospital, and we had written like 4 sentences. And after she had left, you know, she got
Mm.
better in 24 hours time, you know. And then she stayed a little longer, and then she flew home. And when she left, I continued writing on this song, Butterfly Drawings, with the 4 lines we had and the story of her Uncle Sonny in the back, and also
Yeah,
what she told me, what she saw during the amnesia.
it's incredible. What a story.
What a story,
What a
Butterfly
story.
Drawings. No?
Butterfly drawings. That's a fantastic and almost unbelievable story. But Annie, is she okay now? Annie Burns, you said, is the co-writer.
Exactly. Yeah, she's fine. We're in
She's fine,
touch
yeah.
regularly and keep on writing, and
Well,
it
we'll send her
is.
this stream after, and hopefully she'll give it a look. We're going to play the song, Butterfly Drawings, and we'll see you in a few minutes for a bit more chat. How's that?
See you.
All right, have a listen to this, folks.
I'm grateful that I came here. Surprisingly, there is no fear. You brought me here to understand why I disappeared through a hole in the sky. My portrait over the piano the day I die. No one will talk about it, and no one cries. Mother, hold me until dawn. This is hell, but it's my only hope. Guide me through the unknown. I'm 21 in a soldier's uniform. Butterfly drawings on the wall, silent calls in empty halls. Many voices speak to me. I'm floating through eternity. Mother, hold me until dawn. This is hell, but it's my only hope. Guide me through the unknown. I don't know where I'm going. Help me. Mother, guide me and hold me until dawn. I'm 21 in a soldier's uniform.
Lovely stuff. Great song. Lovely,
Thank you.
Claudia. Thanks for sharing that with us. And what a great story to go along with it. Was that an Alhambra guitar you were playing?
Yes, yes,
Hey, my
exactly.
eagle eye spotted that. The only other songwriter I know who plays an Alhambra guitar would be Brett Perkins, our dear acquaintance, Mr. Perkins. Where did you hear about Alhambra guitars, or was it just a happy accident that you found one, or?
No,
Tell us a bit
I
about them.
think we even buy them in the same store.
Oh, did you? Not at the same time. Cool.
Well, I bought mine at Berlin Guitars in Berlin.
Yeah, the famous
Uh,
Berlin guitars. Yeah, there's a shop I need to
exactly.
go to. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Speaking of guitars, we have two great guitarists and friends here on the show who are always with us here. Hello, guten Abend, Chris Link. Lovely to have you with us. Chris is a great guitarist and musician from your land, Deutschland, and of course Stephen, Mr. Good Mojo, the Smith from
Well,
downtown Warscoat in Belgium. He's across the road here, watching, tuning in. He says he loves the Lost Country song. We're going to have that next to Stephen, so hang in there. Yeah, thanks for the comments, gentlemen, and thanks for being with us here. I wanted to put up a little picture of this. Look, you said nothing will come between us, but this is coming between us. Liederfanger is meaning, it means song collector, is it?
catchers.
Song catcher, and that was the first book you wrote. Tell us a little bit about this. I have a link to that book, by the way, in the description below, folks. It's in German, right?
It's in German, right? This is the book I mentioned beforehand.
Yeah,
This is the one about colleagues with I interviewed about songwriting, their songwriting processes, and how and why they became a songwriter, and
yeah.
um, yeah, because I thought, it's interesting. There is no school for songwriters, I mean, you can learn everything. And as a matter of fact, I even taught songwriting for some time.
Did
I
you?
used to be a vocal coach, and then I also thought maybe songwriting, and I found it extremely difficult. And I stopped doing this after some time, also because I ended up being a English teacher, for Germans, and this was not very helpful. And then I thought, how do you become a singer-songwriter? I mean, you can learn everything, in the world,
Yeah.
but a singer-songwriter, there are some like elements to becoming a singer-songwriter that are erratic. You don't know how people and why people become it, and maybe
Hmm.
I thought maybe for me it would be like as a matter of fact, I was a punk singer in the
Yeah,
old
I
days.
read that about you. Were you in a punk band? Was that in Spain? Was that in Spain?
This
Was it?
was no, this was in Bavaria,
Yeah.
and I met another punk singer, and I said, years later, and then I said, I'm a singer-songwriter now, and that might sound weird, doesn't it? And he said, no, this sounds like a natural development because both have a message.
Yeah.
And I thought, how smart is that? I mean, this is really, I mean, exactly the connection I would also say for myself. I
Yeah.
want to say something, and I'm not a pop singer. I don't want to sing about my belly. I don't want to sing about, relationships that gone wrong, and I don't know. And I want to I try to put out something meaningful. It's not on me
Mm.
to judge this if I manage to, but I want to, yeah, I want to produce some meaning that is more than mainstream, and it that is comes out of my individual view uh, of the world, you
Yeah.
know. So
And this book was, as you said, was interviews with mainly singer songwriters of all different types and styles. How many in total would be in the book? How many songwriters do you remember? How many?
good question. I think it
Yeah.
was about 10. And then I interviewed some people in the music business, like Ellie Weiner. She had this platform, Songs Wanted, for song pitching.
Right.
And then Brad Perkins. This is
And
how
Brett.
I met
Yeah.
Brad Perkins,
Okay. Yeah, Brett's been great on the scene. He's as you said, he does all these listening room retreats, and Inisheer, and I did one in Gotland, and got to write with Klaus Caprani. You're one of your co-writers, I know, and Annika Failing and stuff. So he does great work out there, and I have one. He did a raving with Rua, of course, but I also have a full 1 hour interview with Brett as well. If people would like to check that out on the channel, he's great. Very he knows what he's talking about in the scene, in the songwriting scene. He's very knowledgeable. Do you think you'll make a version of the book in English? Is that going to be possible, or you never
This
know?
was for years, to be honest, this was the plan because people kept asking me
Yeah,
if I could do it in English, and then I already started to do interviews in English, additional interviews, and then I stopped doing it because to be honest, this book was 5 years of my life.
yeah, wow.
This is, I mean, you do the interviews, organize everything, then you transcribe it yourself because
Yeah, yeah,
there's no publisher who says, "Oh, well, I give you the money and you let this be described at some point,"
yeah,
So
yeah.
you sit there and do this for hours and hours,
Hours and hours.
and
Yeah,
then you edit it, and I mean, I would love to do this, I must say, but at
but
the
a lot of
end,
work.
I felt like I have to, proceed and write my second book,
Yes, you have to
which
kind of at one stage you just said, "Look, I have to keep going." So you've published a few books then at this stage.
I have right. I have two books at the moment, and the second book is called Sleep Well Bohemia, and it's talking about my family. I did interviews with my grandparents in the mid '90s, about their lives before the Second World War. About were born and lived in the Czech mountains,
Wow.
um, and this was very interesting for
Oh
me.
yeah. Is that
And
where you got your musical beginnings from, or they were an influence on your musical start? Were they?
my granddad was, I mean, he was like my hero all my life,
Yeah.
know.
Was he?
And he came from a family of folk musicians in
Yeah.
Czech Republic, and he knew how to play, I don't know, 8 instruments and
Wow.
sang and stuff. And he started teaching me songs and poems when he would come back from work, and then later he would even record it on these old fashioned tape recorders, the huge ones, and
Mm.
I have recordings from when I was 3 years old,
Oh
and
wow! But how lucky you are to have those, and that amazing.
yeah, I know. And so for me, I think music was always connected or combined with joy and love.
Nicely said.
And this is, I think this was always that something that kept me going, also times were rough for me, and but music was like, helped me
Y-
surviving in a way,
Yeah, it was healing for you. Yeah,
it was healing, right? So, and I kept on doing it, and I'm so glad because, it's good to look back at a life,
it
and
sure is. It's
and
yeah,
and follow your passion and say, there's a payoff, and if you keep doing it, and so I'm
very much
very happy
so.
about that.
Yeah, yeah. And has it always been guitar for you? Did you start on other instruments, or was it guitar from the beginning when you started playing music?
Actually, it was guitar for the beginning, but I must say, for years and years, I only used the guitar to compose songs.
Yeah,
And I was, I had a long education as a singer, and I sang in musicals, and I was more. I defined myself like a singer.
Yeah.
I wrote songs, and then I was a band leader. I had a band, and they played my material, but I was the singer. And I was lucky. My husband plays guitar, so
Okay. So he.
that's how we met. And
Yeah.
and so I at some point, I had to very painfully force myself to perform on stage with a guitar when I was over 40.
Wow. See, over
This is
40
when
when
I
you started
only
to.
started, right. And so I made this, I had this plan. I go to the first open mic, I play one song, then I
Yeah.
go to second, I play two songs, and then to third, I play three songs. And then,
For
I
sure.
thought, that's it. And it worked.
And it worked. Or what stage were you actually? Did you start writing songs? Then was that before you did your first performances? Obviously, was it in sort of before 40 when you started songwriting, or I know the performing started like 40 plus, but what about the songwriting thing?
The songwriting, I started serious songwriting when I was 18 with my first band, the punk band, and
Yeah,
the I know that sounds a bit mean, but the boys didn't have such good material.
sure.
I was a bit picky, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought, well, I don't know if I want to sing this, so it was fine. But and like parallelly, I started, picking stuff from my diary, to be honest, and
Yeah,
trying to rhyme it. And I was always writing. I must say, I from very early onwards, I decided to become a writer.
great.
And my father bought me a typewriter when I was 14, and I was very serious. I want to become a writer.
Yeah,
So writing is like, I would if I would say I'm a singer and I'm a writer, and
yeah.
out of necessity, I started to become a guitar player.
A performer, yeah. Yeah, so you could sing as an outlet for your songs, of course. Absolutely. We're going to have another song, Claudia, Lost Country. You tell us a little bit about the background of this one.
Okay, this was the one I told you before, where my friend Annie Burns in his year said, "Here is the song," and
Yeah,
she opened this notebook, with my rent, basically, and and we started working on her notes, and it was very easy to, you also notice some songs, just come to you very easy, they just want to see the world, and I'm forever grateful for Annie, that she helped this, that she was the midwife for this song,
as
because
the midwife.
it was, yeah, because it's I might say as well that this video we're gonna see now, I
Yeah.
made this for my second book, for Sleep Well Bohemia.
Okay. When you mean also to promote the book, or was inspired by the book, Claudia? What did you mean by that?
No, the song. No, I had my first reading for
Yeah.
Sleep Well Bohemia, my first reading at all,
Wow.
ever, and
Ever. Yeah.
I made a presentation, I made
I
this
see. And you
video
use this
after
as
the
part of it.
reading to write to, and it just fit very well, and I mean, I had another journey with the second book, but we might come back to this later.
We might come back to this later. Well, let's have a listen to this lovely song, "Lost Country," and again written with your co-writer Anne Burns. It's beautiful. We'll see you in a few minutes, folks. Have a listen to this great song, And thank you, Claudia. See you in a moment.
So much grief inside of me. Oh, take me back to my lost country. One day I'll walk in the green fields my father's eyes have seen, beloved mountains where the rivers sing. Oh, take me back to my lost country. There's so much love inside of me. Boys in too short black suits, hiding skinned knees, shy girls in white dresses that could have been me. Oh, take me back to my lost country. There's so much love inside of me. Everything I know, everything I love, and the stars are watching from above. If I have the courage to look back, if I have the courage not to forget, oh, take me back to my lost country. There's so much love inside of me.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Yeah, another beauty. Were they all family photographs in that video? Yeah,
Yes,
really.
all
Your grandparents and their brothers and
grandparents,
neighbors,
my
or
mother and great grandparents, and yeah.
wow. Did you happen to meet your great grandparents as
No,
well?
they
No.
were dead already when
Yeah,
I was born.
but to say
But
that you could play music with your grandfather is a special thing.
yeah, it is. And I got an email in February this year, and a woman saying, "Hi, thank you. Hi, I saw the cover of your book, Sleep Well Bohemia, and on the cover of my book are my great grandparents." And
Oh,
this woman said, "You know, I discovered my great grandparents on the cover of your book." So she is a cousin.
no way.
Yeah, she found
Wow,
my book and saw the picture, and she knew the picture, you know.
isn't that
And the
crazy?
picture, actually, the picture, I might say that I found on a Czech database.
Oh wow! So somebody had
Yes,
archived this stuff already and
exactly.
put
And
it up there, and you were just happened to be looking through some stuff, were you?
absolutely by
There they were.
incidents. And
What
I
a
thought,
coincidence!
what?
What? That's incredible to say that they were already archived.
Yeah. And I got in touch with I wanted to know who did the upload, and I found a Czech museums director, the director of a museum from the hometown of my
Yeah.
grandparents, and he said, "Oh, this is lovely. Yeah, use the picture for your book, and here are more pictures, and when the
Yeah.
book is done, send me a copy, And I sent him a copy, and he said, "Oh, lovely. And can you come for a reading for the German minority?" And yeah, he he organized the reading for the German minority, and I came back to, where my family lived in Czech Republic, invited and
Wow.
very
Invited.
welcome.
How
So
lovely.
yeah,
And what
these
year was
books,
that?
what
It
year?
was the 90s.
Um, I cannot tell
Yeah, I
exactly,
suppose it was around. Well, you released the book
but
in what in
around 2012, 13.
2012. Okay, beautiful. What a gesture. How lovely to be able to go back to where it all began. And did you? I suppose you were able to meet people from the town or the village that maybe knew your grandparents. And
No, they were,
no,
I
we're
mean,
all gone.
no, they're all gone, right? They're all gone.
Uh
And yeah, but it was magic to be invited, and I'm very happy actually, because I'm going to Czech Republic and Poland now regularly, especially Poland, and play concerts there and get in touch with people, I might
yeah,
have met, if this Second World War wouldn't have happened.
I know, I know. Yeah, when you think of it, of course, a huge amount of a vast amount of history in that whole area. Because I know you were saying you were born in southern Germany, Bavaria. That was your home territory, was it? And what was the Spanish connection then, Claudia?
The Spanish connection, good question. I left Germany at some point in the 80s because I couldn't handle it anymore. It was, I mean, there were some problems in my family also, but also there was, I mean, the whole atmosphere was very, I don't know, devastating.
Was that
I didn't like
before
it.
it before 89 or after 89? You're talking about the before the wall or
I
after?
I I left in to for Spain in 81.
Okay, so it's
This
right
is a long
before.
time. This
Mm.
was it was a magic time in Spain because Franco was dead.
Yeah, hooray!
So it was a bit. I used to say I'm really really blessed because I experienced a similar thing in two wonderful cities, Barcelona and Berlin. The wall fell and Franco died. It was
Yeah.
a similar spirit amongst the people. There was all this happiness and smiling, and uplifting spirits. I don't know. It was very special, and I was happy. A friend took me there, and then he went back to Germany, and I stayed because
Okay.
I
You loved
loved
it.
it. It was
Yeah.
it was so special. Barcelona in the old days, as my friends all say, because it was like, wine very cheap,
Yes, the good old
like
days.
€1 a bottle or something, or
Lovely.
50 cents a bottle.
They were the good old days. Yeah.
Right. So,
Fantastic.
yeah.
And how long did you stay eventually then
I
in
stayed for 1.5 years, and then I came back 92, and I stayed another 6 months, in the
yeah.
Pyrenees. And but to come back to songwriting, I met my first singer-songwriters when I was in Barcelona in
That was
80,
unexpected. Yeah.
82. I met my good old friend Rodney Gemmell from Great Britain, and
Ah,
he had this, exactly what you think it is, the hippie lifestyle, this open house,
yeah.
and eating at night and drinking wine and playing songs, and everybody
Gorgeous.
sings together, and
Yeah.
and and I, to be honest, I thought I want to do the same thing, I want to sit there, and play songs and make people happy again, this, love and joy thing, and so I was really inspired by Rodney, and
Yeah, I'll have to check
so
him out. I don't know the name, but
this was like the birth of me being a songwriter.
yeah. And were you writing in Spain as well all the time, or on and off? Was it an inspiring place for you to be a songwriter in Spain, or
I wasn't that serious in
yeah, at that
those
stage?
no,
Hmm.
because it was more this, making up your mind about the direction the whole thing could go, And but I wrote a song 35 years ago in Spain that still is part of my repertoire.
Ah, that's really cool. It's nice when
Yep,
you have songs that's that you've held on to for that long. Sometimes when you write something in the early days, the songs either get changed a bit or they fade away in the background. And it's nice that you still have it. Yeah. Do you
absolutely.
remember the
They're
name?
like
Remember the name of it?
the song is called Lara because I traveled with an American lady, and her name was Lara, and she was like a symbol for me for I don't know, somebody I want to be with, and something I can't have sounds a bit wrong now, but
That's good. I
this,
mean,
this is, but for this passion, desire, and longing, I think I like the name. To be honest, Lara
yeah,
just
it's a
sounds
nice
good.
name. It sounds very good. Absolutely. Can you tell me a little bit about Hide and Seek, which is the next
Hide and
song you want to
seek,
play? Yeah,
hide and seek.
Hide and Seek.
I told you about this Inisheer songwriting retreat,
You did. I see.
which
Then Jen Haj. I see on the credit.
exactly she also was a guest, no, in the Rua
She
room.
was. We had a great chat here. Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
I thought, and she was, we had this magic journey to Inisheer magic in that sense, that there was a big storm. There was a
Oh,
very big storm. The ferry, it was really serious. It was
wow,
night
rough,
on the Irish Sea, and we all threw up, and panicked. And
scary times.
sorry, but it
Yeah.
was really, it was, this moment where you think, okay, that was it, and then
We're done.
we arrived somehow, and life goes on, and we wrote our songs, and Lost Country was the first song I wrote after this storm, the next day in the morning. So this was
It's
a
all
special
connected to
thing,
that. Yeah.
right? And then I wrote with Martin Pretorius as well. I wrote with Jen Hush, and Jen
Hmm.
Hush and I, ever since that, meet on the 1st of January each year and write a new song.
Do you since then?
Yeah,
Every January.
yeah, we became friends, like Martin, Jen, and I, we are
Yeah.
real friends, and Jen and I, we wrote this song on January 1st, 2015. So it was the first follow-up songwriting with Jen Hash, and it's a little
After you
bit
met it in the Shiri. Yeah.
exactly, and it's a little bit inspired by, mm, my family. They all died about a couple of years ago, and we had to sell the family home.
I
And
see.
that was a very painful experience, I must
At the
say.
time, of
And
course.
So, and I thought during the process of writing this song, I asked myself what stays, when you
Mm.
sell the house, what stays, and this became this lovely song, Hide and Seek.
Hide and seek. We'll give it a listen, and we'll come back to you in a moment, Claudia, for a little bit more chat. Here we go.
The house is silent now, dust dances in the air. We walk the empty rooms, so many stories there. We spun the old tie swing from dawn till dusk each day, dressed up in fairy wings, running wild and free. We played hide and seek out in the garden, carved a heart in the old oak tree. So sure this home was everlasting, but our love remains, I do believe. Seasons came and went, we grew up and moved on. Our time seemed endless, but life goes on. It's the memory that clings to the ordinary things, makes it hard to let them go. We played hide and seek out in the garden, carved a heart in the old oak tree. So sure this home was everlasting, but our love remains, I do believe. It's all packed up in boxes to be taken away. How do we decide what goes and what stays? Not in the garden, a heart carved in the old oak tree, and I still see us playing hide and seek. Not in the garden, a heart carved in the old oak tree, and I still see us playing hide and seek, hide and seek, hide and seek.
Gorgeous song too, yourself and Jen Haj. Jen knows how to write great songs as well. She sure does, and that's another beauty from both your pens. Do you find the co-writing thing really good or difficult, or different or worse or better than writing alone? How do you find that?
Um, Definitely something that helps me becoming a better songwriter.
Yeah,
This is, I mean, sometimes it depends on dynamics between people.
yeah,
It's not
it sure
always
does.
easy.
No,
It's not always easy, but I think I'm a rather diplomatic person, and I can deal also with situations that are not so maybe positive or something.
yes. You need to
So,
do
and
that as a co-writer. Yeah,
right, and I think first of all, it's important to respect the other person and also his or her feelings. And I have no problems with that. And I'm old enough now. I don't tend to take things so personal anymore, so that helps too.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of have to learn to do this. Yeah, true. Absolutely.
So,
For
but
some people find it difficult. Some people love it, but as you said, it's a different dynamic from person to
but
person.
it's certainly opening up rooms that I maybe couldn't open up by myself.
Yeah, well said. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. And of course you've written songs solo as well in your career. How many albums now at this stage?
I think we have 7 now.
7 in total, right? I was just and to remind people just where they can get them. I suppose everything is connected to your website. I suppose people can find you, get your music digitally, or maybe you still have some physical discs available for people if they'd like to contact you there or on Facebook. They can.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure, and of course, I have links to where they can get your at least. I don't know if all your books are on that link, but I know your song catchers book is on the link below if anyone is interested. And that'd be great. Did you enjoy your time in Ireland? Was that your first time in Inisheer, or will it be your
First
last
time in
time?
Ireland. First time in Ireland.
Was it?
Yeah. No, it was magic. I mean, apart from the ferry ride,
Apart
I
from that
think.
horrible ferry ride, yeah, that almost killed everybody.
Yeah, no, I felt very comfortable, and I'd love to go back, and yeah, lovely place.
Hope you can. I hope you will. And yeah, maybe other parts of Ireland. Inisheer is beautiful though as well. All those islands out there are gorgeous. I know Brett is running lots of retreats to Inisheer. I don't know if last year's or this year's was cancelled because of the Corona stuff, but I know he's still running great songwriter retreats. If anyone is interested in songwriting retreats, Claudia or I can set you up with Brett Perkins and all that great work that he does. I'm going to put up this little poster here. You had a great gig. Was this from that? I know you're doing it again this year on the 30th of December. Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about From Ireland to Berlin, Claudia.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we did this 2 years ago in a wonderful place. It's called the Spandau Citadel here in Berlin. It's an old castle, and yeah, and Jen Martin and I made this From Ireland to Berlin evening with songs we wrote in Ireland, and some Irish folk songs, and
Yeah.
wonderful. So, and then we decided this year, or I decided I want to do it again, and they say, yeah, we can do it. And Martin is coming, and yeah.
Notorious Pretorius is back on the scene. Good man. A big smiley head on him there in the poster. Look at him. He's always smiling about something. Martin Pretorius. So that's on the 30th of December, almost New Year's Eve. And it'll begin around 8 o'clock. Great. Well, if anyone is in the area, I'm sure that's going to be lovely, because the last song we have to play out with, I think, was taken from last year's show. You sang the Moorlock Shore together with Martin and Jen. And it's a gorgeous video to end our little chat on. I think what's next for you? Are you going to write more books or make more albums, or are you going to retire? What's the story?
Going to retire. I tell you, after
never
this
be able to
pandemic, I'd never retire ever.
No, there's no going back now.
My God, this was so boring. No.
Yeah.
No, I have
Oh.
I have a new book, which will be published soon. It's my first non-fiction book, It's a novel about a woman who disappeared in Czech Republic in 1946.
1946. Okay, just after the war, and yeah.
Exactly, and so I'm very looking forward to reading from this book and talking with people about this book, because I think it's very important to remind ourselves of what can happen, if we don't take good care of ourselves. And I think history repeated is one of the worst things we could have. And so
Very well
this
said.
is part of my mission also, is to talk about history. And I find that many people are not very well informed about World War II and what happened with the forced migration. And I think it's good to talk about it, and
Yes.
this is like, I try not to do it, but I found myself, in a place where I have this. I think I have to do it, I tried to avoid it for some years, and then I thought, no, but this is something, that's in my, somehow attached to my
It's in your
life, and
history, absolutely.
it's my task, and so this is something I'm looking very much forward to. The novel is called Königswald, Kingswood, and so this is
Is there a release date for that,
no,
Claudia?
but
Not yet.
I'm very optimistic that it will be in the next two months.
Oh, wonderful. So maybe even before, well, maybe not before Christmas, but early New Year,
Yeah,
perhaps.
it should be before Christmas, I know, but this is it's a small publisher, and there is a lot of pressure on publishers as well
Yeah,
to
indeed.
do the pandemic, and so I'm very, take it
Uh,
easy. And
Take it easy and not rush. Just saying hello there to Marcia from Miami. Hi, Marcia.
Marcia,
Marcia Halper
hi.
for dropping in there all the way from Miami. I hope it's warmer in Miami than it is in Belgium and Germany, Marcia, at the moment. Thank you for being with us, Marcia. Hi. Look, we're going to finish off. I want to thank you so very, very much, Claudia, for taking for your time and your talent tonight and for being here on my little live stream. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I'm hoping to get to Berlin one of these fine days or nights and see yourself. Maybe even Jen Haj and Martin. Who knows? Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Stephen. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Great to see you all. Mr.
Yeah,
Mojo
thank
as
you
well.
too. It was so great to see you. And Martin told me how to say your name, pronounce your name,
Did he?
Dohi.
He told you how to say Dahi. Yeah. Or
Dahi.
maybe.
You see, because I said Daiti, and he said
Yeah.
no.
No, it's not Daiti. As I always say to Martin or anyone else, you can call me what you like, but just don't call me early in the morning, and then we'll be friends. That's it. That's okay.
No,
I've
it's
been called worse, but it's
okay.
okay.
But
I have
lovely,
trouble.
lovely,
It
lovely talking
was a
to you.
lovely chat, and we're gonna play out with this final song. Here's all the gang. If you want to say something about it, you can. But I know it's more Shore, a famous Irish traditional song, and it's a great. It was it kind of the last song of the night last in 2019?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Yeah.
Yeah. It was the closing song, and we didn't rehearse it much. So I'm always staring at this sheet of paper.
At the lyrics, I know. Yeah. Yeah, I know the feeling. It's okay when it's kind of new. Jen looks confident anyway in her.
She is, yeah, she is easy.
It is, yeah, and Martin is there on the wingman to have as well, Martin Pretorius. But Martin will be here, as I said, folks, on the in 2 weeks' time, so you can join us then. I'm going to say goodbye to you, Claudia, and thanks so very much. If you want to hang on backstage there for a second, we can have a chat after. Take care of yourself. Guten Abend, as they say over there. Thanks so much for being here, and we'll see you.
Thank you too to everybody. Bye.
See ya. Here you go, folks. The lovely Claudia Nentwich, and it's lovely to have her there all the way from Berlin, and a great songwriter, a great music promoter, and author. Check out her books. Links to all of Claudia's work, Songs from the Boat, famous Berlin venue. All the links are below here on the YouTube links below. And thank you all very, very much for tuning in tonight. That was episode number 92, brought to us again courtesy of the great people of G Sharp Guitars. Thanks to them for allow me to, and StreamYard, of course, to be able to stream to Facebook and YouTube at the one time. If you haven't done so already, please give the channel a subscribe, give it a thumbs up there. Let us know you're watching. Leave some nice comments there for Claudia, if you would, down below. We get to see them all. And I'm back on Wednesday for the next Red Air live stream associated with Air Amps, and that is going to be on the 10th, Wednesday the 10th. We have a great artist from Belgium, solo gig from a guy called Glenn from Sober Trist, and so check that out. 8 o'clock, the Red Air streams a full set of songs from the great Sober Trist. And then back for one more Raving with Rua, another Raving with Rua, episode 93 will be on Sunday, next Sunday. We're going to France for that one, or I think Denmark actually, but a French singer-songwriter, Magali Michaud, is here with us at 8 o'clock next Sunday on Raving with Rua. Here is the promised song, as we said, featuring that's the Morlock Shore and the great Claudia with Jen Haj and Martin Pretorius there singing out from this show that is going to happen in Berlin on the 30th of December. If you're in the area, it's going to be a good one, from Ireland to Berlin with Claudia and guests. So check them out. Take care of yourselves, folks, and enjoy this song. See you next time on the next Raving with Rua. Keep an eye out for all future shows on the channel. Look after yourselves and see you.
Yeah, hills and dales and flowery vales that lie near the Morlock shore. Yeah, winds that blow by Borden's grove. Will I ever see you more? Where the primrose blows and the violet grows, where trout and salmon play, with light and hope daylight I took to spend my youthful days. Last silk, and the